The Power of Imagination, Part 2. We have started a series on the powerful habits of great achievers. And as we started in our first video, we talk about the power of imagination, which is one of the powerful habits that every great achiever practice. And so we are talking about the two basic things or most powerful things that imagination does for us. You will not know the power of imagination until you find yourself in a very tight corner and all you got is creating a word in your mind that you think and envision is possible, because we all are confronted with situations in life, and as life itself is, there's no great man or any great inventor or any great personality that did not create that first in their mind before trying to harness their potential and seek ways to bring it into fruition. Because if you cannot create what you want to be in your mind, you as well as cannot do anything, because you are empty and there's nothing that you can do. The architect will always design the plan in their mind before they put it on paper. And that is why George Bernard Shaw will say, imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. And so if imagination is that powerful, is the basis or the beginning of greatness, the beginning of achieving dreams, is the beginning of becoming that person that we desire to be, then these two things is what imagination does for us. First of all, I have tested and proven it. Imagination breaks the limitations that we are confronted with today. Most of us will bear with me that whether born rich or born poor or in the middle class or whatever you will call it, we all have those things or certain things that always hold us tight and hold us down, that make us to feel that the journey ahead is impossible. But when you are able to create your own world, as Helen Keller will say, that the beauty of the world is not what we see, but it's what is in the heart. Because it's what is in the mind that descends down to the heart to give that excitement about how life is beautiful and how in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the troubles that we go through, you can still make it out there. It is in the mind that we are able to create a beautiful and a peaceful life for ourselves. You can never have a peace of mind if you don't create it in your mind. You have to create it, you have to design it. And so imagination breaks the limitations. Whatever you are confronted with, maybe it's poverty, maybe you are that person that you don't even know how to take the first step. Maybe you are that person that you confronted, or the history about your family is all about just reaching to a point and nobody have broken that record. Maybe nobody have graduated from college in your family. Maybe nobody has been able to even become their own CEO in your family. Maybe nobody have been able to have that master's degree or have that professional career in your family. Maybe nobody have succeeded in maintaining marriage in your family. And so sometimes you see yourself as this is our family thing, it's genetic. There's nothing genetic when it comes to achieving your dreams, because we are all born, despite the fact that we might come from the same family. My siblings and I don't have the same fingerprints. That is the difference about us. And so when you start creating your word in your mind, how you want to be in the future, it helps you to break the limitations. It makes you to see beyond your present condition. It makes you to know that your history has no bearing on you. It makes you to know that where you come from has no bearing on you. You have to begin creating your own world. You might come from a place of alcoholics, but it depends on you, the kind of life you want to live, to be an alcoholic or not to even taste alcohol. I heard this story about two kids that were born from was born by an alcoholic father. And one of them became an alcoholic like the father. The other did not become an alcoholic, but a successful businessman. And both of them were asked this question. The first one, who is an alcoholic, said, I'm an alcoholic because my father is an alcoholic. The second person said, I am not an alcoholic. I don't drink alcohol because my father is an alcoholic. Now, the two persons come from the same place, but one saw themselves beyond the boundaries of being raised by an alcoholic father. And so they decided, since I know the repercussions that alcohol have had on my father, I am creating a word that another day will I taste alcohol. And so he designed his own word, and he was able to pursue based on his history. Imagination will break the limitations that we have in life. Imagination will travel you to an infinite world. Imagination will let you know that there is a bigger world out there that you can harness. Imagination will let you know that the struggle you're going through today is not the determinant of your life. It's quite unfortunate how some people can make the situations they go through to identify them as they are that situation. Some people live with it. When I hear people say, oh, my own sickness is, and you own it. Why would you own sickness? Why would you own tragedy? Because you have not broken that limitation. And the only thing that can break that limitation is when you imagine yourself, when you create your word in your mind. The second thing that imagination does is imagination gives you an infinite possibility. If you can imagine, you can as well do. That's why George Bernard Shaw will say, if you can imagine, then you have begun your creation. Because when you imagine what you desire, then you will as well. You will what you imagine. What you see yourself to be is the push. And the motivation, the greatest motivation that you have is how you see yourself in the future, not what people see you or what your current situation is. And so I want to entreat everybody as we continue with this, our series of the powerful habits of great achievers, as we desire to achieve something positive in our life, as we desire to impact on our generation, as we wish to do that great and perfect things that we aspire to be, as we admire people who have already achieved and struggle with these things that we have been struggling with. I will only tell you that instead of you having all the negative thoughts in your mind and all the 99.9 reasons why you cannot do this, start creating a new word in your mind. Have a new word order in your mind. Think about the positive things. Think about how you want your retirement to be. Because if we cannot imagine, if we cannot see through tomorrow, imagination is a walk to your future. It's a walk through the future. It's a walk in your mind through the future. It gives you an infinite possibilities. Imagination will let you know that in as much as nobody in your house might have owned their own car, you can own your own plane. You can have your own jet. Most rich people that we see today, most powerful and successful people we see today, most of them were not born with silver spoon. Most people started from zero. It was their situations and their conditions that made them to create an enabling environment in their mind and started pursuing it. Because until you see yourself to be beyond your boundaries, you will always adapt to your boundaries and you will live as you are right now until you go down the grave. It's obvious that there will be a whole line of family that everybody doing the same thing from generations on, but nobody is able to break the barrier because they feel that it's a family trait. There is nothing called family trait in achievements. It might be medical, which I'm not a medical specialist, but when it comes to how you can break all the limitations. I'm talking here, I wasn't born with silver spoon in my mouth, but I always aspire to be at that place where I can have impact on the life of people. And I saw possibilities in the midst of my troubles. I saw that everything that life have put in my way was a way of strengthening me and giving me the other side of life, that in due time I'll be able to stand on a mountain top and recount where I came from and encourage somebody that it is possible. When you imagine it, you can do it. You can have that beautiful family that you envision. You can have those educated kids that you want. You can have that profession and that career that you have been yearning for. You too can make it happen. Sometimes this Me Too movement should go across, not only when it comes to human rights, but when it comes to our personal goal in life. What are you imagining of yourself to be? What are you imagining of yourself to be? I want us to graduate from just being comfortable with the situations that we're confronted with every day. And let us know that our imagination is the beginning of creation. We create our own world. We have the power to create our own world. Whatever that is happening, the internet we use today, the phone that we use today, the cameras that we enjoy today, taking all the pictures and posting on Facebook, the very Facebook that we post on, the Instagram, the Twitter, all that we using today were people's own imagination. They imagine that they wanted this is the life that they wanted for themselves, and in doing so, it affected thousands and even millions of people around the world without even knowing them. You see how the power of imagination, when it comes to fruition, it becomes contagious, because it's not only you. We live in a world of collectiveness. We live in a world of cohesion, and whatever that you do have a direct impact on the next person that is around you. And so let us keep dreaming, not just daydreaming, but let us have positive imagination, positive creativity, positive thinking about how we want our life to be. And I can assure you that you break the limitations and you walk out there seeing possibilities that your environment have been denying you for a long period of time. Imagine yourself, be that great man, go out there, be that medical doctor, go back to school, go back to that business, get back writing that book that you started, do something positive, see yourself, that author that you want to be, signing people's autograph, that great speaker that you want to be. You can be anything you want to be when you imagine. Thank you, and God bless you. And I will tell you, when you see this, our videos, please share it, and please like our page. And also I will entreat everybody that, hey, whatever we have started, we need your prayers to back us with it. We want to touch lives. We want to go beyond this. We want to share our dreams and our aspirations and our stories with people, what we've been through and what life has put before us and how we have overcome. So like the page, go to our YouTube page, our Facebook page, like our page, and share this if it touched your heart. Thank you, and see you with the next episode of the Powerful Habits of Achievers. Thank you.